Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 1, Genealogical Table of Daughters of Manu. So we are in the section where there is a discussion of genealogical line of Devahūti. So we are at text 38. Just Pulahasya gatirmaya Trīnasu sati sutan Karma Sreshtavariyasam Sahishnum Chamahamate. Translation.
Translation. Gati. Yeah. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Gati, the wife of the sage Pulaha, gave birth to three sons, named Karmashreshta, Variyan, and Sahishnu, and all of them were great sages. Purport. Gati, the wife of Pulaha, was the fifth daughter of Kardama Muni. She was very faithful to her husband, and all her sons were as good as he. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is the fifth daughter of Kardama Muni, Gati. She got married to sage Pulaha. And from there, and she is described as great chaste personality, Sati. This is a very important. So for husband to the wife and wife to the husband, and also for a disciple to one's spiritual master, Sati, right? The chastity. She was very faithful to her husband, and she gave karma to these three personalities: Karma Sreshta, Variyan, and Sahishnu. Text 39. Kratorapi Kriya Bharya. Just wait a second. Valakhilya Anasūyata Rushin Srishti Sahasrani Jvalatah Brahma Tejasa. Translation.
Translation. Kratu's wife Kriya gave birth to 60,000 great sages named the Valakhiliyas. All these sages were greatly advanced in spiritual knowledge, and their bodies were illuminated by such knowledge. Purport. Kriya was the sixth daughter of Kardama Muni, and she produced 60,000 sages who were known as the Valakliyas because they all retired from family life as Vanaprasthas. Hare Krishna.
So the sixth daughter of Kardama Muni, Kriya, she was married to Kratu, and she gave birth to 60,000 great sages called as Valakhilyan. Okay. So these are greatly advanced personalities, and they retired from the family life as Vanaprasthas. Text 40. Urjayam yadnire putra vasishtastya parantapah chitraketu pradhanate sapta brahmarshyamala. Translation.
The great sage Vasishtha begot in his wife Urja, sometimes called Arundhati, 7 spotlessly great sages headed by the sage named Chitraketu.
So this is the great sage Vasishtha getting married to Urja, who is the seventh daughter of Kardama Muni. 41. चित्रकेतु सुरोचिश्च विरजामित्र एव च उल्बणो वसुभृद्यान् द्युमान् आग्दिशक्त्या दया परे. Translation.
The
The
names
names of these
these
great
sages are as
good.
follows: Chitraketu, Surochi, Virja, Mitra, Ulbana, Vasubhradhyana, and Dyuman. Some other very important sons were born from Vasishtha's other wife. Purport: Urja, who is sometimes known as Arundhati and was the wife of Vasishtha, was the ninth daughter of Kardama Muni.
Text 42. So these great personalities were born to Urja, who is also known as Arundhati. Text 42. Chittitu atharvana patni lebhe putra dhrutavratam dadascham ashvasirasam bhrugo vamsham nibodhame. Translation.
Chitti, wife of the sage Atharva, gave birth to a son named Ashvashira by accepting a great vow called Dadhancha. Now, you may hear from me about the descendants of the sage Bhrigu. Purport:
Yes.
the wife of Atharva, known as Chitti, is also known as Shanti. She was the eighth daughter of Kardama Muni.
Okay. So previously we have seen the ninth daughter. Again, Bhagavatam is not chronological. Now she was the eighth daughter of Kardama Muni here. Chitti, she got married to Atharva and gave birth to a son named Ashvashira, and they followed a vow called as Dadhancha. Now, at times, certain vows like this will come, and when they are important on our behalf, anyway, the hearer that time will automatically inquire. Either Parikshit Maharaj will inquire, or the sages of Naimisharanyas will inquire, or Vidura will inquire from Maitreya, what is this Dadhancha? But this is not inquired. So, but later we will come, there are certain sacrifices which are being inquired, that which is the sacrifice, Pumsavana. So that is then being elaborately described, right? Text 43. Now we are coming to Bhrigu, and Bhrigu is very, very famous personality in the universe. Bhrugukhyātāṃ Mahabhāga Patnyāṃ Putran Ajījanat Dhātāram cha Vidhātāram Śriyam cha Bhagavatparam. Translation.
Translation: the sage Bhrigu was highly fortunate. In his wife known as Khyati, he begot two sons named Datta and Vidhata, and one daughter named Shri, who was very much devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, Bhrigu is a very famous personality. Bhrigu got married to Khyata. The wife of the name was Khyata. And Mahabhaga is considered as a very, very fortunate personality. He begot two sons and one daughter, Dhata, Vidhata, and Shri. And they were very much devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now we are entering the wife, Bhagavat Param, Shriyam cha Bhagavat Param. She was very greatly attached to the Supreme Lord. Text 44. Ayatim niyatim chaiva sute meru tayo dadat tabhyam tayorabhavatam mrukandah prana evacha. Translation.
The sage Meru had two daughters named Ayati and Niyati, whom he gave in charity to Datta and Vidhata. Ayati and Niyati gave birth to two sons, Mrukanda and Prana.
Yeah. So this Data and Vidata, they got married to Ayati and Niyati, and they gave birth to two sons, Mrukanda and Prana. Text 45. Markandeyo Mrukandasya Pranat Vedashira Munihi Kavischa Bhargavo Yasya Bhagavan Ushana Sutaha. Translation.
Translation: From Markandeya Muni was born, and from Prana, the sage Vedasira, whose son was Usana Sukracharya, also known as Kavi. Thus, Kavi also belonged to the descendants of the Bhrigu dynasty.
Yeah. Now from here, now previously somewhere we saw the birth of Ravana, Vibhishana, and Kumbhakarna. So some people are known personalities there. Now here we came to very, very known personalities. From Mrukanda came Markandeya. Markandeya's story will come in Bhagavatam in a big way. Markandeya is a very, very famous sage. From Prana, Vedashira was born, whose son was Ushana. Ushana, Kavischa. He is considered as one of the very intelligent personality in the universe. Ushana is the guru of the Asuras, that is Shukracharya. In Bhagavad Gita also this comes. Lord says, amongst the intelligence, I represent Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Amongst the intelligent people, I represent Ushana. Ushana is this Shukracharya. And this Ushana Kavi is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So this Kavi, Ushana, is also referred in Bhagavad Gita, belongs to Bhrigu dynasty. Right. Text 46 and 47. Ta ete munaya kshaktah lokan sargai abhavayan esha kardamam dauhitrah santan kasis tava shrunvata shraddadhanasya sadyapapahara parah prasutim manavim daksha upayeme hi ajatmajah. Translation.
My dear Vidura, the population of the universe was thus increased by the descendants of the sages and the daughters of Kardama. Anyone who hears the descriptions of this dynasty with faith will be relieved from all sinful reactions. Another of Manu's daughters, known as Prasūti, married to the son of Brahmā named Dakṣa. Hare Krishna.
Now here in this verse we are concluding the genealogical line of Devahūti. So Kshatta is Vidura. The population of the universe was thus increased by the descendants of the sages and the daughters of Kardama. Line of Devahūti. Anyone Shrunvataha Shraddadhanascha. Right. Sadhya Papahara Parah. Anyone who hears these descriptions of this dynasty with faith will be relieved of all sinful reactions. Now, let us hear the genealogical side of Prasūti. So this is how Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is so beautiful. That simply by studying Śrīmad Bhāgavatam that we are doing every day. Now, this is also, there is no need of separately doing some Punya Karma. Punya Shravana Kirtana. Bhagavatam itself is Punya Shravana Kirtana. Why Punya Shravana means that simply by hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we are increasing our great fortune. What is the proof? Look at this verse. Shrunvataha Shraddadhanasya Sadhya Papahara Paraha Prasūtim Chamanavim. Shrunvataha Shraddadhanasya. So, of course, a devotee is not very focused on the Falashruti because a devotee is interested more in ahaituki, apratihata devotional service. But at the same time, these are the side effects, that our sinful reactions are vanishing by studying Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Our temperament is changing. Our, the path towards the Supreme Lord is wide opening by the association of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the great personalities, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Shishya Parampara in that way. So now we come to the next line, that is Prasūti. Text 48. Tasyam sasarjad druhutrihi Shodasha amalalochana Trayodashat adad dharmaya Tatha ekam agnaye vibhu. Translation.
Daksha begot 16 very beautiful daughters with lotus-like eyes in his wife Prasūti. Of these 16 daughters, 13 were given in marriage to Dharma, and one daughter was given to Agni.
Tasyam sasarja. Now, Prasūti was given to Daksha, and Daksha got 16 beautiful daughters who were Kamala Lochana. So they are lotus-like eyes in his wife Prasūti. Of the 16 daughters, 13 were given to Dharma, and one daughter was given to Agni. Text 49 through 52. Pitrubhya ekam yuktebhyo bhavayekam bhavachyate Shraddha Maitri Daya Shantis Trushti Prushti Kriyonnati Buddhirmeta Titikshahi Hirmurti Dharmasya Patnayah Shraddha Suta Shubham Maitri Prasadam Abhayam Daya Shantihi Sukham Mudam Tushtihi Smayam Pushtir Asuyata Yogam Kriyannator Darpam Artham Buddhirasuyata Medha Smritir Titikshatu Kshemam Hi Prashrayam Sutam Murti Sarva Gunotpattir Narayano Ruci. Translation.
Translation: One of the remaining two daughters was given in charity to the Pitraloka, where she resides very amicably, and the other was given to Lord Shiva, who is the deliverer of sinful persons from material entanglement. The names of the 13 daughters of Daksha who were given to Dharma are Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Santi, Tusti, Pusti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Medha, Titiksha, Hri, and Murti. These 13 daughters produced the following sons. Shraddha gave birth to Shubha, Maitri produced Prasada, Daya gave birth to Abhaya, Santi gave birth to Sukha, Tusti gave birth to Muda, Pusti gave birth to Smaya, Kriya gave birth to Yoga, Unnati gave birth to Darpa, Buddhi gave birth to Artha, Medha gave birth to Smriti, Titiksha gave birth to Shema, and Hri gave birth to Prasarya. Murti, a reservoir of all respectable qualities, gave birth to Sri Naranarayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
What amazing verses, right? So one of the two remaining daughters, now we have seen that he got the 13 daughters, 16 daughters. Out of 16, 13 were given in charity. Charity here means Kanyadan. Okay, that is the charity. So, I mean, in charity means Kanyadan. Kanyadana means Vivaha Samskar. So, that is Kanyadan to Dharma. One daughter was given to Agni. So, 13 plus 1, 14. Now, remaining two. The two are remaining. One of the remaining two daughters was given in charity to Kanyadan to Pitraloka, where she resides very amicably. And the other is given to Lord Shiva. And then, who is Lord Shiva? Bhavayekan Bhavachide, the personality who is deliverer of the sinful persons from the material entanglement. Okay, so this is Bhavaikam Bhavachide. Now, the 13 daughters of Daksha who were given to Dharma, what are their names? Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Medha, Titiksha, Ri, and Murti. All they were got married to Dharma. Now, they are the real personalities, and at the same time, when what is engaged with what will produce what, there is an extremely beautiful description here, which is actual and also allegorical. Right, now let's look at this. Shraddha, when married to Dharma, okay, so this is Dharma is the personality. Shraddha with Dharma gave birth to Shubha, auspiciousness. Maitri with Dharma gave birth to Prasada, satisfaction. Daya gave birth to Abhaya. Shanti gave birth to Sukha. Tushti gave birth to Muda. Right? So Tushti gave birth to Muda. Muda means deeper sense of satisfaction. We have Mudit Krishna Prabhu, right? Very, very happy Krishna. So that is Muda. Pushti gave birth to Smaya, Vismaya. So that is Pushti gave birth to wonderful things happening in the life. Kriya gave birth to Yoga. Unnati gave birth to Darpa. Buddhi. So Unnati gave birth to Darpa. Here is not Darpa Dambha, not that from point of view of Darpa Dambha. That is, you can say something like, this Darpa stands for, I'm just missing that one word I want to say here. That this Darpa stands for, okay, I'll come to that word. It's not pride or arrogance, but it is, a very due awareness of one's achievement without pride. What can this be called as? something like Atma Samman. What we can say to this? Okay. Buddhi gave birth to Artha. Buddhi, engaged with Dharma, gave birth to Artha. Medha gave birth to Smriti. Titiksha gave birth to Kshema. Ri gave birth to Prayasa, the spiritual endeavors. And Murti. Now, Murti was like, of course, all these were great personalities. But Murti is Sarva Gunotpatir. She was the, she was the like the reservoir of all good qualities. And then she gave to the famous Naranarayana Rishi, the supreme personality of Godhead. What amazing verse this is. Who gave birth to whom? And now we know the mother of Naranarayan Rishi, his father, or their father also, Murti and Dharma. Right? Text 53. Yayorjanmanodyo Vishwam Abhyanandan Sunivritam Manamsi Kakubhovata Praseduh Saritadrayah. Translation.
On the occasion of the appearance of a Nar Narayan, the entire world was full of joy. Everyone's mind became tranquil, and thus in all directions the air, the rivers, and the mountains became pleasant.
So now Naranarayan Rishi coming, and as soon as Naranarayan Rishi appeared, entire world was full of joy. Just like Lord Krishna's appearance, Lord Ramachandra's appearance. So this is, everyone's mind became very tranquil, and all directions in the air, rivers, mountains became very pleasant. Manamsi kakumovata praseduhu. Vis-a-vis, later we'll see, upon the birth of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, what was the condition. So, and Prabhupada writes in that purport that in Kali Yuga, very rampant, very frequent happenings of nature also indicates that a very demoniac population is going to take birth progressively as there is advance in Kali Yuga. Text 54 through 55. Divyavadantya turyani petuh kusumavrishtayah munaya trushtabhutushta jagugandharva kinnara nrityanti smasmayo striyo devyo asit paramangalam deva brahmadaya sarve upastastu abhishtavaihi. Translation.
In the heavenly planets, bands began to play, and they showered flowers from the sky. The pacified sages chanted Vedic prayers. The denizens of heaven, known as the Gandharvas and Kinnaras, sang. The beautiful damsels of the heavenly planets danced. And in this way, at the time of appearance of Narayan, all signs of good fortune were visible. Just at that time, great demigods like Brahmā also offered their respectful prayers. Hare Krishna.
This is the beauty of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. See, at a very, very important point, Bhagavatam will take a pause and will zoom in that past time. Now, his son is here, this got married to them, this got now Naranarayan Rishi. Murti gave birth to Naranarayan Rishi, and then, the Bhagavatam will pause there naturally. This is the beauty of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Bhagavatam will naturally pause. And now, what was the occasion? And then what happened? Divyavadyanti turyani. The heavenly planets, the bands began to play. They showered the torrential flowers from the sky. There was a shower of Gandharvas, Kinnaras dancing, Apsaras were singing, and that was the all good fortune around the universe at the appearance of Naranarayan Rishi. And the demigods, they began to offer prayers along with Lord Brahma. And what next? Text 56. Devaha urchuhu yo mayaya virachitam nijayatmanidam kherupa bhedamiva tat pratischakshanaaya etena dharma sadane rushimurtinadya praduskarascha purushaya namah parasmai. Translation.
The demigod said, "Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the transcendental personality of Godhead." who created as his external energy this cosmic manifestation, which is situated in him as the air and clouds are situated in space, and who has now appeared in the form of Nar-Narayan Rishi in the house of Dharma. Purport: the universal form of the Lord is the cosmic manifestation, which is an exhibition of the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In space, there are innumerable varieties of planets and also the air, and in the air, there are variously colored clouds, and sometimes we see airplanes running from one place to another. Thus, the entire cosmic manifestation is full of variety, but actually that variety is a manifestation of the external energy of the Supreme Lord, and that energy is situated in him. Now the Lord himself, after manifesting his energy, appeared within the creation of his energy, which is simultaneously one with and different from himself. And therefore, the demigods offered their respects to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who manifests himself in such varieties. There are some philosophers called non-dualists who, because of their impersonal conception, think that varieties are false. In this verse, it is specifically stated, Yo Mayaya Virachitam. This indicates that the varieties are a manifestation of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, because the energy is non-different from the Godhead, the varieties are also factual. The material varieties may be temporary, but they are not false. They are a reflection of the spiritual varieties. Here the word Pratichakshanaya, there are varieties, announces the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared as Nar-Narayan Rishi and who is the origin of all varieties of material nature.
Yeah. So very, very beautiful prayers now the demigods are offering. Demigods are saying, now let us be aware. This is the prayer demigods offered at the appearance of Nara-Narayana Rishi. Very, very special entrance, right? So Bhagavatam literally takes us back to that time. There is appearance of Nara-Narayana Rishi, and the demigods are praying that, oh dear Lord, who created his external energy, this cosmic manifestation, and thus there is a great variety. And this Lord of all, who is the originator of all the variety, has appeared in the house of Dharma as Nar-Narayana Rishi. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the world is filled with variety. In space, there are various planets and air. In the air, there are various clouds. And through the clouds, there are many aeroplanes are running. So there are planets, there is air, there are clouds, and there is aeroplane. And all this great variety actually comes from the external energy of the Supreme Lord, and the originator of that energy, Lord Nara-Narayan Rishi, has appeared now. So this is the prayer of the demigods. Prabhupada says sometimes there are non-dualistic, that there are monists who say, no, there is no variety. Anywhere there is no variety. Advayam. Everything is just Brahman. But within Brahman there is variety. And Srila Prabhupada has given so many examples for this through Vedic examples, right? From a long distance, we see a mountain. But when we go close, we realize, oh, there are some trees also. And when we go very close, we realize that there is a mountain, there are trees, there are the trees, there are so many birds, and there is so much of engagement happening. So, from a distance which may appear as Advayam, or just, the one. But Prabhupada gives another example of a parrot entering the tree, the green parrot entering the green tree. It appears that the parrot has merged inside the tree. No, parrot is reciprocating with the tree. He has not merged. Green mein green mil gaya and sab kuch green ho gaya. No, not like that. Parrot is different, tree is different, and there is a loving reciprocation between the tree and the parrot. So there is variety. So, and the reflection of that, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam, Ashwattham Prahuradvayam, that the reflection of spiritual variety is the material variety. So yes, material variety may be temporary, but material variety is not false. So it is not that, Brahman Satya, Jagan Mithya. Jagan is not Mithya. Jagat is temporary. Manifestation is temporary, but it is not false. And therefore, Prabhupada writes here, this is simply a reflection of spiritual variety. And all that spiritual variety, thus comes from, now comes the originator of that spiritual variety, who is Nara-Narayana Rishi. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaura
Jai.
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you,
Jai.
Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhupada. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Devahūti,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Śrīmad Jai Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Devahūti.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.